Let's put our hands together for our hosts Mona and Jesse. Come on. What a beautiful home, what a beautiful event. We can't thank you enough here. I do want to thank some of our hosts who are here. Please, my mentor, Dr. Ajrawat and Satyaji, please give them a round of applause. You know, this gentleman is going out of country today to Europe, but Vivek and Preeti Sood are hosts today and giving them maximal heart and support. Vivek, thank you so much. You know, we all need to recognize Naveen Sethi. Naveen has been one of the biggest supporters for Ravi Bhalla. We have an event at his house today. He's been working for the last several days, has fights with his wife, but he's here. Naveen Sethi, thank you, Naveen. And my close friend from Amritsar, Babaji Di Nagri, Tejpal Ahuja, Tejpal ji and Vidhu, thank you so much for being here. Our best buddy from Potomac, Hari Raj and Meeta. Hari, amazing women. We have Kawaljit Soni ji, Baljinder Shami, the Saluja family, and of course Sajid Tarar, Jatpura from Pakistan. Now, I just want to be very brief. Ravi Bhalla embodies the true values and spirit of Sikhism. He believes in Seva, believes in Chardi Kala. So this is not a political campaign. This is not a political donation. You know, some of us Indians are very against political donation. Oh, nahi, main politician paise nahi dene. This is a seva. This is a seva for the Sikh Sangat. This is a seva for the Sikhs in USA, for the Indian Americans in USA, to put the first turbaned Sikh, a very qualified Sikh in US Congress. Thank you all. I invite Jesse Singh, the host.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. We recognized literally that in Ravi Bhalla there is a Sikh hero. And Sikhs of America conferred the 2023 Sikh Hero Award to Ravi Bhalla. We went to his office to confer the award. And it was amazing that in the city of Hoboken, he told me that there are only 2 Sikh families, him and his brother. And in such a small Sikh population, he was elected mayor not once, twice. Am I right? So that itself is an honor. It's not easy for a Gursikh with a turban, with the identity that we carry, to win elections and become a mayor of a city that was known for racism, that was known for racist things against South Asians. Indian women were called darkbusters. When in the 80s, when I came to this country, that was the news everywhere about Hoboken. And for him to become a mayor and turn that city around, he is a Sikh hero. And today, Ravi, I want you to see that in this room we have representation from everywhere. Dr. Saxena has taken lots of names, but we have the local Gurdwaras have Sikh Association of Baltimore, the president, the chairman, Gurpreet Singh, Sunny, Charanjit Singh, the board members, everybody are here. We have even people from Telangana, Andhra, USMSC Council, we have there. But what I want you to know is in this room, there are Democrats and there are Republicans and there are Trump supporters. People who might agree with you, people who do not agree with you. But they are here together, united to support you. Because you are the Gursikh who we look upon. And this is a big thing that you have united your community, because if you win, we all win. If you go to the Congress, every Sikh, every South Asian will be there with your coattails. You will open doors for so many of our young generations. I want you not to forget your roots. I want you to not to forget these people, these pugs, these South Asians who are loving you right now. Do not be another Nikki Haley. So, and I don't ever expect that from you, because I know you on a personal note. I know your family. I know from Indore, and what a fabulous background family he has. And you know, a lot have been said, and I think you should now say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay. Okay. I think I got it.
Keep it close to your mouth.
Okay. So I just want to thank, again, the hosts. I'm not going to be able to name them all, but obviously Jesse and Mona, the Drawith family. Auntie, it's my first time meeting you, but you have a beautiful daughter and son-in-law. Also, you know, nothing would happen. We wouldn't be here without Naveed Sethi. He is, you know, when you go through campaigns, you run into many, many people. And it's very rare you run into some people, and they're just gems. And I didn't know Naveed very well before this campaign started. But we have a family relationship through my wife, and we connected. And he has just been remarkable. So I just would like to, you guys, just give another round of applause for brother, I can't tell you how grateful I am for your support.
We're in it to win it.
So, it's also great to see the Saluja family. You know, I've been friends with Vina since high school, and you've always been supportive to myself and my brother, and everyone else, Jesse and Mona, thank you so much. You still remember when you were at Hoboken City Hall, the mayor's office, my office, and the honor was a great honor. So, as you know, my name is Ravi, Bhalla. I'm the mayor of the city of Hoboken, and I'm a candidate for U.S. Congress. My journey here really did not begin with myself. I was born and raised in the U.S., but again, it began with my father. My father, like many of you, was an immigrant from India. He came here in 1966 for an education. He came here to study physics, to do a PhD in physics at Penn State University, State College in Pennsylvania. And back in 1966, there were not too many people from our community in the East Coast in America, but he came from JFK Airport, from Kanpur, where he was doing his other PhD in chemistry, and he came to the U.S. Came to Kennedy Airport, drove from the airport with a college friend who was picking him up, and they got to Penn State. They got to the 10 miles from the campus, and his friend said, before we go on the campus and we meet the other college students, we just have to make one stop. We need to make one quick detour and make a stop. My father said, where are we going? And this gentleman said to my father, we need to go to the barber shop to make sure that you cut your hair and remove your turban, your star, because it's very important for you to integrate. Before people see you like this, you need to integrate into the campus and with the other students. And that's not what my father had bargained for when he decided to come to America. He was proud of who he is. He was proud of his identity. And he wanted to get an education and possibly a job and maybe become an American citizen. And he didn't think that America was about having to make that choice between his faith, being an American, and being a Sikh, being from India, and being proud of who you are as a Sikh Indian. But he was asked to make this choice. He did make a choice. He chose to refuse to make that choice between who he is and the idea of integrating into college with the other people. If he did not make that choice, if he decided not to maintain who he was, I would not be standing here today before you all as possibly the first term member of Congress in U.S. history. So choices matter. even if they're back in 1966, but they matter. And, you know, when my father told me that story, it's something that always stuck with me. And it's always been a theme in my life. You know, can I be successful? Who I am? You know, I was raised I went to the public schools of New Jersey in a very not a very diverse school, obviously a victim of school bullying based upon my appearance, my religion. But my mother always told me, you know, this ultimately might be difficult. You know, it might not be fun getting picked on, but stand up for who you are, believe in who you are, and in the long run, it'll give you character. Your faith will give you character, no matter what faith you're from, for that matter. Faith is a matter of, you know, what you believe in your heart, no matter what faith you practice, and making sure that you're proud of who you are, no matter what faith you're from. So we happen to be 6, but that was always a question in my life. I was able to go through, as was mentioned by Baljeet, to school, to law school, and also become a practicing trial attorney for 18 years, trying cases before civil juries, criminal juries, state court, federal court, and doing so with my faith intact and being a successful lawyer. And after law school, I moved to Hoboken, New Jersey. Hoboken, by way of background, we're 1 square mile city. So we're actually 1.23 square miles. But we're 1 square mile. We have 64,000 residents, as per the last census. So we are the 3rd most densely populated city in America. We're the home of Frank Sinatra. We're a very Italian city. When I first moved to Hoboken, I didn't know who the mayor was. But a couple things happened. And this is going to be a little bit of a Democrat story, but I hope you'll all keep open ears and an open mind. Around 2007, then Senator Obama, I had the chance to meet him in Jersey City. And a few months later, he won the Iowa caucuses. And that gave me inspiration. I was an attorney in Hoboken. And I shut down my law firm for a week and traveled with my older brother, Amr, who's in the audience today. We traveled up to New Hampshire and knocked on doors in snow that came up to our waist for a full week. It's called canvassing in politics, where you knock on doors and present your candidate, why you think they should win. This was in a primary against Secretary Clinton. And that was my first experience in grassroots politics, you know, going door to door for something you believe in, a cause you believe in. It was remarkable. He didn't win that primary. He eventually, obviously, as we all know, became president, but my wife and I went to Pennsylvania with our young daughter intact. When he became president, I thought, if America is ready for its first African-American president, certainly they should be ready for a city council. And I thought that was an inflection point where maybe America's promise is about not what you look like or what your background is, but what you can deliver on things that people care about. And at that same time, locally, within Hoboken, it was a mess. Corruption, patronage, cronyism. Our taxes went up 70% in 1 year. The mayor at that time overspent the budget by $12 million, recklessly. Our bond status rate, our credit rating with S&P and Moody's was junk bond status. Junk bond status is you can't borrow, if you want to purchase a fire truck for your city or upgrade your senior building. It's a capital project. You can't borrow money. You can't bond for money if your finances are in disorder. So I didn't like what I was seeing at the local level. I did not like what I was seeing. And my daughter was about 2 years old. Her friends were fleeing to the suburbs because they didn't want to be a part of Hoboken. But I believed in Hoboken. I thought Hoboken should be a place where the government is well run. If you want to stay, there are a lot of great things about Hoboken. You should be able to stay and going to raise a family, set roots. It shouldn't be so transient. It was a very transient town. Ashi knows that, personal experience, where people would stay for a little bit, maybe get married, have kids, and then go off to the suburbs. But I wanted to make it less transient. And I talked to my wife. I said, you know, we had discussions, and eventually we said, you know, we can be frustrated and talk about everything that's wrong, or we can do what the president said. Grab a clipboard, roll up your sleeves, and run for office. And I was only 35 at the time, but my wife said, at 35, our daughter is only 2 years old. If there's any time, go run now. So she provided me a lot of encouragement. I'll tell you, anyone who wants to run for office or have kids who want to run for office, it's a family affair. You've got to have a partner who's with you in these journeys, because they are rough. Politics is a rough business. But when I decided to run, as I think was mentioned, people asked me, the political class, were more involved in politics than others. They said, how many Sikhs are in Hoboken? I said 4. I said 4%? I said, no, actually 4. Me and my wife and Amr and his wife. They said, okay, well, you know, how many Indians live in Hoboken? And I said, there are a few dozen, probably, maybe 100. They said, okay, well, how about Asians? I said, you know, there are probably a few hundred. So they said, look, you're not Italian, you're not Irish, you're not Puerto Rican, you're not from labor, you're not a senior. Who's going to vote for you? Who is going to vote for you? One person said, you know, you wear a turban and beard, and that will not go unnoticed in this election. He didn't mean that as a compliment. He meant to say that there was a conflict between my identity as a Sikh and my ability to succeed in an election, in elected politics. And that brought back, you know, what I was thinking about with my father, about whether or not he was being told in 1966 that if you want to be successful in America, you have to integrate. And he said no. And back in 1966, he said, I can be successful. And he was successful eventually. He got his degree, he got a job, he opened a business, he got us through college, and he did that with his faith intact. So he was an example for me that you can do it in America, and everybody in this room are examples that you can do it in America and be who you are, no matter who you are. Successful doctor, to be a successful attorney, you have to work hard. So we work day and night. 6 a.m. at the bus stop, 6 a.m. at the train station, 6 a.m. at the ferry terminals, not taking a day off, sometimes with our daughter in a stroller in tow. And in that election, the debates helped a lot, because during the debates, which were televised, people actually saw through my outward appearance and said, hey, this guy is not a Sikh candidate. He's a candidate who happens to be a Sikh. And if you can deliver a message that's persuasive and articulate a policy position on things that people care about, maybe not issues that relate to India or South Asia, but on things that people care about: fiscal responsibility, open space, education, infrastructure, climate change. If you can convince those people that you're the most qualified candidate, India calls itself the largest democracy, those aren't just words. That it really is a democracy that is not just about elections, but respecting human rights, respecting the right to free speech, and the same challenges we face here in America. America's not perfect either, as we know, in these areas. But we have to support each other to do better, where we can do better, and also support each other where we have common interests. Any other?
I know there are a lot of questions, but Ravi has to go to other events, and I'm going to sum it up, Ravi. No matter what your answers are going to be, no matter what your policies are going to be, this community is united behind you. And Congressman Ravi Singh Bhalla. Doesn't it sound beautiful? So we are all with you till the fight, till the end, until you get to the Capitol. We're going to be with you always. This is not the first or the last. This is more events are going to come. This is going to grow. This is a movement that you have started, and a very proud moment, especially for the Sikh community and the South Asian community as a whole. So thank you.
Sat Sri Akal, my name is Ravinder Singh Bhalla, and I'm a candidate for the U.S. Congress from the 8th District of New Jersey. I currently serve as the mayor of the city of Hoboken, and have been serving Hoboken for 6 years now. It is an absolute honor to be here in Maryland with Jesse and Mona and so many stalwart members of the Sikh community and the Indian community here in the Maryland, D.C. area. The Saluja family is here. Many other prominent people in the community are here. And we're here for one reason, because we want to make sure that we have somebody representing the community at the federal level in Congress, because as we all know, representation matters. Having one of yours in Congress enables us to control our own fate, control our own destiny, control our own future. So I owe a debt of gratitude for this meet and greet, this gathering of Sikhs and Indians to support this effort to have more representation at the federal level, and hopefully to win on June 4th in the Democratic primary for U.S. Congress in the 8th Congressional District of New Jersey. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਅੱਜ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰਵੀ ਭੱਲਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਨਿਊ ਜਰਸੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੁਮਾਇੰਦੇ ਚੁਣੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਜੱਸੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਨੇ ਇਕੱਠ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਕਰਨਗੇ
The number. It's to make history. We have a chance. So with that, I hope you have a little bit of a sense of the Bhalla family story, but honestly, it's our community story. The Menendeses are taking on Sikh stock, and Sikh stock is a Jardikala stock. Over history, we might have been victimized, but we're not victims at all. We're never victims. We proceed with strength and Jardikala, our backs straight and our heads held high. So I thank you, and now, my pleasure to introduce my brother Ravinder Singh Bhalla, Mayor Bhalla.
And you integrate, because it's important for you to look like the other students. And my father said, why? Because that's not what he bargained for in America. He thought that he could get an education and be who he is and do so successfully. He thought that his ability to study physics was not impaired by the way he looked. His ability to be friends with others was not impaired by the way he looked. He felt he could be an American and a Sikh without having to sacrifice one or the other. But he was given a choice. He was told that you can't do both. And he rejected that choice in 1966, years ago. And those choices have consequences. If he didn't make that choice, and if he didn't maintain his articles of faith, I wouldn't be here standing before you today running to be the first term member of the U.S. Congress. So the decisions you make have consequences, they matter. But that has been a recurring theme, growing up in the New Jersey public schools, being a minority, being one who looks different, trying to integrate as a Sikh and as an American, and being told that they don't always match. And as all of us have as successful Indian Americans, successful entrepreneurs, doctors, business people. We all know that we can be who we are, and we can succeed in America. It's about the fact that you can be who you are, and if you deliver on the issues that people care about, you can serve the community. And Sikhi is about service. It's about seva. It might start at the Gurdwara, but it extends well beyond the Gurdwara. It extends to Bhalla, all of humanity. We wish the well of all of humanity, every day when we say our namas, or daily prayer. So it started again when I decided to run for mayor. For 8 years, I served on the council, did a fine job as council president for 2 years, and then I decided, no, we made progress. I want to run for mayor. Same thing, unelectable was the whispering campaign. He's unelectable. This is an Italian city. It's great that he's a councilman, one of 9 councilmen. Councilmember Bhalla, he's a good councilman, but at the end of the day, the whisper campaign was he's unelectable. He can't win a citywide election, especially in Hoboken, where we have a strong mayor form of government. The mayor has control of the city. So they said you can't. You're not electable. You're unelectable. Again, from June 20th, 2017 to November 7th, 2017, didn't take a single day off. Campaigned 7 days a week, every single day, and with Guru's Kirpa, became the 39th mayor of the city of Hoboken. Now, when I ran for re-election, wanted to do well. Within that 4 years, had a great track record on improving our economic status. If you remember, we were at junk bond status. Today, we're at AA+, which is the highest rating that S&P and Moody's can give you. I have to work with people who might not agree with me and move the ball forward. It just doesn't happen in Congress these days. It doesn't happen in Congress. That is the distinction between myself and my opponent. Congressman Menendez has been serving in office for a whopping 13 months. That's the span of his public service in elected office. And he was anointed that position by his father. Election about an election, not a selection. Because the selection was what happened with Menendez. For party bosses in smoke-filled rooms, and this is actually real, to anoint people in office because they have famous last names. We want to democratize the district. We want to give people an actual choice so that they can make educated decisions. So we want an election, not a selection. How's that? Okay.
So Ravi, I want to follow up on Ken's question. Right now you are in the family, right? You're surrounded by your tribe, you're surrounded by your family, so you can pull on the Sikhism concepts, you can pull on the story of your family, courage, and when you talk about courage, and also sort of us versus they, I think one of you said earlier, the world is getting very, very divided. Every politician is using us versus they, black versus white, Hindu versus Muslim, red versus blue. And when you go out of a tribe in a room like this, when you are going out and talking to those outside your 1 mile by 1 mile who've never seen anybody like you, I wonder how you take the message and make it so much more different. I'm just curious how you.
It's actually not too different, in the sense that I change it a little bit by trying to educate people about who I am. Trying to break that cognitive dissonance they have, assuming that I might have an accent or I might be different, even though I was born and raised in New Jersey, and saying that I am a Sikh, but what we believe in is equality. What we believe in is fairness. What we believe in is love, peace, humility. The same values that our founding fathers, in terms of equality, found in this country, are the same values that Sikhism holds dear to our heart. So my message in the district is about inclusiveness. We have a very large Latino population in the district. So when I sit down with a political action committee that tries to get Latinos elected, I try to impart upon them that part of my mission as a member of Congress is to make sure that I empower and uplift the Latino community, because they are a marginalized minority in that part of the country where I live. And I know what it's like to be a marginalized minority. I was the tenant advocate attorney in Union City, which is 99% Latino. I went to court fighting for the rights of Latinos who were facing wrongful eviction, who were living in like slumlords, like terrible living conditions. When I went to court, the playing field was so unlevel. The landlords had high-powered attorneys. The tenants didn't speak English, and I went to bat for hundreds of people in the district. They still remember me out there when I go out to Union City, the work that I did for the Latino community. So really, it's about, it doesn't matter if you're black, you're Latino, you're Asian, you're Filipino, you're Gujarati, the big Gujarati population in the district. It's about empowering people, knowing that they can channel their desires, their hopes and dreams.
We'll stick around for a few minutes if everybody's got individual questions or want to take pictures of the mayor, but it is a Saturday night and I'm sure everybody's got plans, party on, party on, right? Yeah, party, right? So, thank you all for coming. Like I said, if you've already given, thank you so much. If you've given some, double it. If you haven't given, I'd say why not? I mean, what are you thinking? So with that, I'd like to thank everybody and thank the mayor and the family.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Ravinder Singh Bhalla. I'm a candidate for U.S. Congress from the 8th District of New Jersey and the sitting mayor of the city of Hoboken. We're at the home of Dr. Naveen Sethi, and I'm with Dr. Siksaria, as well as Dr. Rajwant Singh. Great host committee to encourage people to get out there and make sure that we cross the finish line and we have representation. With my election victory, we would actually have the first turban Sikh elected in U.S. history. So this is a moment where we as a community can stand up, stand strong, and make history together. So make sure that you get involved in the campaign, volunteer, tell anyone you know in Jersey City. There's a big Indian population, Punjabis, Gujaratis, South Indians. Have everyone come and vote on June 4th. That's our humble request to you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Mayor Ravi Bhalla is mayor of Hoboken. He is going to be the first turbaned US congressman for all of us, and his ideas and policies are just absolutely amazing. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਲਈ, ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਲਈ, ਹਰ ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ, ਪੂਰੇ nature ਲਈ. So he's going to work for everybody, all of us. Thank you, Mayor Bhalla.
As a host, I'm very thankful for Mayor Bhalla to spend his time and his evening with us. We had a great turnout, and all of us are here to support Mayor Bhalla in his campaign to make history, not just for Sikh Americans, but for all Americans. His campaign is a campaign for all of us.
ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਮਾਣ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰਵੀ ਭੱਲਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ 6 ਸਾਲ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਮੇਅਰ ਇਲੈਕਟ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਨੁਹਾਰ ਬਦਲੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਅਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ US ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਭੇਜੀਏ ਤੇ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰੀਏ। ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਹ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੇਗਾ, ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਰਾਹ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੇਗਾ। ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੌਂਦ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਸੀ। Starting from Dalip Singh Sond to now an opportunity to have a turbaned congressman in United States House of Representatives. So this is an opportunity. We must not miss it. Support his campaign. Go online, ravipalla.com.
Bhallafornj.com.
So please go on this website and do make a donation. If he cannot come to your city, you can reach him and reach his campaign and support you.